Previously on Back of the Backlog.
Let's record something, man. We haven't done that in like 5 months.
Months? It's been 2 years.
Well, basically, I had this idea of a series where I kind of talk about games that are in my backlog that I just recently beat.
You don't mind, I'll probably be here a bit more often. I brought you one of them computer games.
Move down.
What?
I said move down, motherfucker.
I'm literally not even close to you.
You're paying my goddamn ass, you know that?
Yo! What the fuck's going on?
It's this long-nosed little bitch.
What?
Whoa! You know what? I want to talk to you. Niffler, just chill here. I apologize for this asshole's behavior. Come here.
No worries. It's no problem.
Kylo, we got a fucking problem.
What? How?
How? You're treating Niffler like he's a piece of shit for no reason.
I am not.
What? How are you not?
Maybe he's the one treating me like that.
What are you talking about? I see you. I see you treating him horribly. And it pisses me off because he is a good person. He is my friend. So I need you to treat him with respect.
I thought I was your friend.
That's what this is about? Kylo. You are my friend. But you left for 2 years. When you moved out, I had nobody. And like a normal human being, I made new friends. One of them being Niffler. And he's a really, really good guy. He got us our new game. If you actually gave just a little bit of a shit, you'd probably like him too.
I'm not great with new people.
I'm not picking between you or him. But to be honest, if I were, I'd pick him. Because he's not acting like a dick. I don't like dickheads. And you've been there for the past 2 weeks now.
I'm sorry, but I can't help but hear you guys. Are you guys good?
Yeah, we're good. Kyle just said he's gonna leave now.
What?
I said Kylo was just going to go home now.
I guess so.
Oh, and Kylo?
Yeah?
You should leave your keys in the mailbox when you leave.
For real?
Yeah. I think I'll need that extra set.
Oh. Okay.
So, it's really not good.
No. Fuck it, though. I don't like how he's treating you. Till he stops being a fucking bully, I don't want him here.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'm back at the backlog. Been gone for way too long. I'm back at the backlog. Got so many games to play, dog. I'm back at the backlog. Donkey Kong expands my dog. I'm back at the backlog. Me and Kylo been fucking since dawn. I'm back at the backlog. Did you know that Kylo wears thongs? I'm back at the backlog. I really fucking hate this song. Yeah.
We are home, Ratchet.
What is up, guys? It is Robert of Gaming With Me, and welcome to episode 2 of Back at the Backlog. Today we're going to be checking out the game on my backlog, Ratchet Clank Future, Tools of Destruction. First, let me tell you guys some of my history with this franchise. I've actually only played one Ratchet & Clank game prior to Tools of Destruction, which was the PS4 remake of the original PS2 game, Ratchet & Clank. It's a franchise that I've always wanted to dive deeper into, but with, well, you know, a kind of big fucking backlog, never really had the chance to. I do also own the games Ratchet & Clank Going Commando on PS2 and the Ratchet & Clank collection on PS3, which both of which I haven't actually played yet, but you know, I'll get there one day. I did also enjoy the movie that released in 2016. I know not everyone loved it, but I had a good time with it. But anyway, Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction released on October 23rd, 2007, at least in North America. I picked it up on Black Friday 2015, and I played it in 2019. So it was on the backlog for almost 4 years. Better late than never is literally the whole point of this series.
It's okay to play a game years later. They will always be there whenever.
Thanks. I agree. It's a lot different having somebody nice to me. The game was published by Sony Computer Entertainment and developed by Insomniac Games. Ratchet & Clank is pretty much their biggest franchise. One may argue Spider-Man if they actually make some sequels, but for now, Ratchet & Clank, that's their baby. Tools of Destruction was the first Ratchet & Clank game for PS3 and also the first in the Future trilogy, which now I have to, one of these days, buy the other 2 Future games and hopefully not wait another 4 years. But who am I kidding? I will.
Actually, it's not a trilogy. Into the Nexus is also a part of Future. It just doesn't have that Future name.
God damn. Okay, never mind. I have to pick up the other 3 games. At one point there were 3 Ratchet & Clanks in 3 years. I don't know if you really need that many Ratchet & Clanks that quickly. Anyway, let's talk about the story. As with any other game, I like to actually talk about the story first because for the most part, I personally kind of feel like stories in video games aren't all that important. It does depend on the game though. I care about the story in Uncharted, but Ratchet & Clank, not so much. It's all about the gameplay to me. The story is basically Ratchet is the last of his kind, which is the Lombax. He wants to learn more about his past. Ratchet and Clank go on a journey to defeat a bad guy from destroying the universe. At least that's how I remember it goes. But, you know what? Why don't we check the fan wiki to see how detailed fans get on the Tools of Destruction story? Let's see, it says, at the start of the game, Ratchet and Clank were on planet Kurwan, trying to complete one of Ratchet's new vehicles, the nuclear-powered rocket sled. While Ratchet was assuring him that the vehicle would work fine, Clank received a distress call from
2 hours later.
Performed a halo jump and fought through Tachyon's forces, arriving and separating at a spaceport. At the spaceport, Ratchet and Clank bought a modified gyrocycle from the smuggler. Oh my god, this goes on for another 9 paragraphs. I said this before, but I am happy for the people who actually love this game that much that they could write the whole story in full detail, the full game. It's honestly good writing, makes the story sound a whole lot deeper than it actually is. I'd watch a movie of it. In the actual game, there's a good amount of cutscenes that I liked. For me, it wasn't exactly super memorable, but I did enjoy seeing a lot of the characters interact. Now let's get into the game. Something right off the bat that I noticed with this game is that the visuals genuinely hold up. The environments are well designed with a lot of backgrounds having nice details like a variety of buildings, spacecrafts, battles, a whole bunch of stuff that really sells this whole Ratchet and Clank world. Characters have pretty damn cool designs, but to be fair, I don't know how many of these characters are new to the franchise. The frame rate for the most part is 60 frames per second, but can dip to 40, but that's whatever. It doesn't mean shit to me as long as it's stable, which it is. I did some research on it. The way the game works is that you travel to many different planets, bashing many different enemy types, collecting a whole bunch of things from bolts to gold bolts, which I'll talk about a little bit later. One of the first things you do in this game is skydive using motion controls. Unfortunately, I have 2 pretty busted PS3 controllers in terms of its charging, so from what I experienced, the motion controls were pretty bad and clunky. Luckily, you could turn it off in the menus for the whole game, so that's why I used, for the rest of the game, I actually used the USB controller that I used for the PC, but it's in shape of an Xbox One, which I much prefer over the PS3 controller, to be honest. The gameplay itself is pretty much a button masher. I would pretty much the whole game clicking one button against enemies. The good thing is, in between the hordes of enemies that constantly want a piece of you, there's a solid variety of gameplay elements that get introduced. For instance, some planets will have sections where you'll grind on rails, hopping over obstacles and switching lanes. It reminded me of the minecart levels in Donkey Kong Country. There's sections where you'll ride this ball called the gyro cycle. Made you feel like you were controlling one of those gyrospheres in Jurassic World. At one point, Ratchet could actually fly with some crafted wings that let you soar around the planet for as long as you want. Sometimes, Clank will be taken away from Ratchet and you'll be alone with Clank going through some minor obstacles controlling those alien-like things called Zoni, and they help you along the way. There's also these puzzles where you move like a marble to get electricity from one side to another. To be honest, I kind of felt a little... I thought it was pretty pointless. Even when you enter a new sector in the galaxy, you control an on-rail space shootout that, to be honest, I didn't particularly love. The main appeal to many are the tons of weapons that Ratchet can gain along the way. I personally loved buying every single weapon and seeing how different they played from one another. From wielding an electric whip to causing mayhem while launching like fucking 10 rockets at once, they let you have the freedom at choosing the wide variety pretty much anytime you want. You can shoot almost anything you want and it'll die, and they'll reward you for it. There was one time I was mowing these innocent robots and no one even cared. I had no clue they were innocent. Ratchet just absolutely annihilated families just to buy some shit at a shop. What a guy. You gotta love him.
Ah, I've had plenty of innocent killings back in my day.
What? What?
Oh, nothing. Carry on. Don't you worry.
Alright. Will do. You also can unlock a bunch of different skins by collecting hidden golden bolts. My favorite skin is the snowman. You literally play as a snowman. Throughout most of the game, I had a ton of fun going planet to planet, moving further through the journey, shooting a ton of shit until the last few planets. The last few planets started to feel really repetitive. It felt like they knew they were making a trilogy and had to end development quicker, so they just started placing a whole lot of strong enemies that are absolute sponges to even the most powerful weapons. Throwing 10 of your longest lasting enemies is not a challenge, it's just an overly long shootout. I'd literally be dodging side to side and just shoot, 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 on and on, slowly draining their health until they die, and then another one would come and I would just repeat the process. That was it. I would much rather have 2 to 3 harder enemies than 10 easy ones with large amounts of health. So by the time I got to that point, I was just waiting for the end to come, and when it did, well, the final boss is just okay. Nothing too memorable, but it's passable for a final boss. Just to let you know, I'm going to talk more about him, so spoilers. Okay, so basically you're on this tiny planet fighting this guy in the sky. It wasn't hard, but it did take me a couple tries. Mainly because you don't have a lot of room around you, so it can be tough to actually dodge some of his attacks. Regardless, after that, there's a final cutscene where Clank gets basically kidnapped by the Zoni, and then Ratchet is all alone, and that's supposed to be like a cliffhanger. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. I did encounter one glitch where I went through the floor at one point. Other than that, it was a smooth experience. I'm not sure if I like this one better than Ratchet and Clank on PS4 because they are pretty similar. I mean, maybe I'd give it the edge, maybe not. I don't know. Regardless, overall, I'm gonna give Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction a damn fun at times, but it also could be repetitive and tedious towards the end. And holy shit, did I just kill an innocent robot? Oh my god, I did! Out of 10. So yeah, that's Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. I definitely enjoyed it enough to want to continue playing the other games in the franchise. I need some time off with the franchise though, to be honest. So yeah guys, thanks for watching episode 2 of Back at the Backlog. I would greatly appreciate if you shared it. It does mean a lot, it helps a lot because this is a long time to edit and do the intro and everything else. You know, if you didn't know, I make music, so I would greatly appreciate if you could check that down in the link below. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah. Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction was a damn fun time, but it is officially out of the backlog.
You're doing well, bruv.
Yeah, I'm good. I just didn't want him, trashing you. You're a good guy. No one deserves to be trashed, so,
If you want me to leave and him to come back, I perfectly understand.
Nah, it's not about picking and choosing and stuff like that. It's just, I just need him to come and apologize, That's all I need. If he comes and apologizes, I'm cool.
Right now, at this moment though, he does not deserve your friendship.
Yeah, you may be right. You're probably right. Getting all fucking emotional like a bitch. I'm sorry. I don't usually get like this. It's just, he's just a close friend. God.
Since I knew you were feeling like this, I wanted to give you a new game.
Really? You gotta stop getting me games, man, for my goddamn having emotions.
It's actually called, something that Kylo's been acting like lately.
They got a game called Dick.
No, just, here, take it.